Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is AO Tennis 2 Career Mode. We are in Season 2. It is the year 2021. We have completed our first year of career, and we are in the Quimper Open, which is a challengers level tournament. Anabella Moncinelli, our main character, has managed to get through a number of rounds here. Let's see if I can show her. She is the number 7 seed in this tournament. She defeated fellow Italian Rizzi 6-1 6-love. She then defeated Maric 6-2 6-love and Romero 6-2 6-2. So all of these were entirely done on semi-pro. So I do want to do a little bit of a recap here as to what I've been doing at the end of the year. And I can't show you any of this because once you get into a tournament, you can't back out into My Player and see the schedule. At the end of the year, we were in a tournament. It was, I believe, it was a hard court tournament, one set. And I was on semi-pro, and I almost lost a couple of those matches. I won, I think, 7-5 in the first round, 6-4 in the second round. I'm like, holy cow. And then the third and final round, I won like 6-2. The final round wasn't so bad, but the first two rounds, man, I was being butchered for. I was down 5-3, I think, in the first match, in that one set match, before rallying to come back and win it 7-5. And the computer was just hitting winner after winner after winner. And even in this tournament on semi-pro, the computer has been almost insane with hitting winners and not making any unforced errors. Now, I do think on pro it goes for the lines more and maybe makes more unforced errors as a result, which maybe makes it a little more realistic, but of course it also, I make a lot more errors on pro as well. So what I'm going to do, again, is stick with what we've been doing, which is semi-pro to serve, pro to return in the semifinal, and then if we get into the final, we will do pro the whole way. Now, this is a challenger tournament. It's called Challenger 80, but it's actually 50. It's 50 ranking points to win. 25 if you win the semifinal and get to the final, usually. My guess is 12 or 13 if we lose here. So we've already got the same number of ranking points by getting to the semis here as we would have gotten winning a futures tournament, because this is worth so much more. And we'll also probably get quite a bit of money. I can't remember how much this is worth. It's like $12,000 or something. I can't remember. So we should get a nice chunk of change for that as well. We have a few $1,000 because we get money for winning and just per week from our couple of sponsors. I think if we win this tournament, we might get another sponsor. We'll see how it goes. So we're playing Mora in the semifinal, and these players are a little bit tougher, but as you can see, Anabella has gone up. She is now 51 overall. She was in the 40s all last year. You're going to start to see her number go up quickly now because in addition to XP, we're starting to get some money and be able to move up her skills a little bit. I think her flat serve is now up to 50, and I might have raised her drop volley a few points as well. Her power and stamina are, everything is 48 now except for her speed, which is 51. You can see that her forehand and backhand are about equal to her opponent, and her serve is a little better because she's got that flat serve doing her a little bit more, and her fatigue is better, and her form is looking good because she's been doing a really good job in the tournament. I've got this new outfit for her, and I also created a red outfit, and you've probably seen the brown one. The red one was played during the exhibition, and I made this one, and what I discovered, remember I said I'll make about 8 outfits, it turns out that's the max. They won't let me make any more. So I'm actually going to go back. I'm going to have to go back and edit a few of the other ones. And I have a couple duplicates. So I'm going to play around with that to finalize her outfits. But for now, we'll use the black and white. And we'll go ahead and proceed. I do have an all-white uniform that's meant to be played at Wimbledon. There are a couple of grass tournaments coming up, bizarrely enough, in mid to early to mid-spring in like Switzerland. Like, yeah, really, you're going to play on grass in Switzerland in early March? There's going to be snow on the ground, but I think that's where it was. In any case, if we can play on grass, we're definitely going to do that because that is her preferred surface. I don't know if it gives us any bonuses, but it does mean we can do a lot of serve and volley, and that should work pretty well on grass better than it does on clay. So this is hard court. I've been doing pretty well both from the baseline and from the net. But again, I have been largely playing on semi-pro. So Anabella is in the black and white. And her opponent is in the orange and gray and white.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and this is the semifinal. Best of 3 sets, 6 games per set. And this is the first match you'll be seeing of 2021. So we're in the futures. We will, with the Challenger, we will be playing in some futures as well. If we get like futures 25s or whatever, because they give us more ranking points. Probably not going to be playing in the futures 15 too much anymore. Oh, I forgot to check the difficulty. Hang on, let's just double check it. It should be semi-pro yet. So we're going to switch to pro when she returns. Yeah, one of the things the computer has done a lot, even on semi-pro, is really nice returns. And it likes to pass me at the net. One of the things that I have learned on those moon balls is actually to use the controls. Lucky that didn't go out. To manually, if it'll let me, and sometimes it won't, to manually back up. Nope, she got me again. So a lot of that just depends on whether I can stick the volley. And those 2 times I did not stick the volley. That has to do with the return, right? She basically does a dipping low return, and that forces me to volley up, and I guess that's why it doesn't stick the volley. There's that teleport, and that usually makes a winner, but not always. Alright, I'm going to run in here. Nope, she got me again, 15-40. And this is, if you can see the scores, you know, we're like, this happens almost every match. I get absolutely butchered the first game or 2 of the match. And it's not generally anything I'm doing. It's just that the computer just doesn't seem to do anything wrong the first couple of games, right? It makes perfect returns, perfect shots, right? And there's a break of serve. And it actually looks like you're playing on pro. And it seems to do that for a few games, and then it backs off and starts letting you win. And I honestly, almost it feels like the computer starts out at a certain difficulty, and then it's programmed to, if it wins too much, back off of you. Like it, quote unquote, realizes that it's too hard. It's being too hard on you with those perfect. I mean, you just saw these absolute perfect line painting shots 5 times, right? She has 5 winners in one game. You know, and look at that ace, right? It's just rolling over me, complete steamrolling. And several times I said to myself, even on semi-pro, I'm not even gonna win a game in this match if it keeps up like this, because it's just completely butchering me. And then all of a sudden, like that, you start hitting winners, and it can't get to every single thing. And it honestly doesn't feel like I'm doing anything at all different in terms of timing my shots and stuff. The computer just stops hitting perfect shots. I'm gonna come on in. Go in again. Nope, she got it. Look at that. Look at that Jimmy Connors shot. Right? She's getting to literally everything. And I've won, what, 2 points, 3 points in this entire match so far. So this has happened to me, I think, in pretty much literally every single match, even on semi-pro all the way. In every single one of the matches you guys didn't see was like this. Right? The first couple games, I can't make a dent. Right? Just fighting for my life, and doesn't matter It just hits flawless, perfect winner shots. And then after a few games, it goes up 2-love, and then all of a sudden the wheels come off, and it stops being so perfect. Look at. So now all of a sudden it's deuce, right? And this is on pro. Ask yourself, wasn't it playing better on semi-pro in the last game? Going on in again. Nope. Top spin there. Can't get to that. Advantage Mora. I thought that was going to be another ace. No, that was out. I guess this is second serve. Should be. Still couldn't get to it. Game Mora, and now it's 2-love. I really don't like. So one of the things I don't like about the way this game does the sort of. Oh wait, it's still on pro. Hang on. One thing I don't like about the way this game does the ramp up to whether the shot is good or not, right? Is there's a sweet spot, right? There should be a sweet spot. They've got it kind of programmed in. Okay. And you have to hold the button. Your character draws the racket back and has to hold it the right amount of time in order to properly strike the ball. If you don't hold it long enough, you hit it too early, you get an orange or a red shot, right? You hold it the right amount of time, you get a green shot. You hold it too long, and it's no longer green, but it goes from red to yellow to orange to yellow to light green to red, right? Which makes it seem like if you hit early, it's still okay, but if you hit a little late, it's worse than hitting a lot early. And that's actually not true. It should be equal. So it should go from green back down to yellow, then orange, then red. It shouldn't go from green straight to red. It just mechanically, that doesn't make any sense. We were able to win that game, and it is now 2-1, so we've held serve. At least we won't be bageled. So the problem with playing, semi-pro to pro and losing your serve on the first game is now you've got to break it when it's on pro. Whether we can do that or not, don't know. And if you go back and watch some of my earlier matches, there's a double fault, love 15. What you'll see is I got broken early like this, couldn't come back, lost the first set, and then came back and won the next two handily. Now, I don't know that that's going to happen here. I'm not making that prediction. And obviously, I'm going to try to win in straight sets. But it's a general pattern that I see in the game. It's that it'll kick your butt in the first set early. Wow, I can't believe I got to that. It'll kick your butt in the first set early. She got me. But then it sort of stumbles, backs off. Now, maybe some of it's fatigue, although it almost never, unless the bar is drained all the way down to 0, it almost never seems to be affected by fatigue. All right, I got to go in now. I got her. 15-30. So now I have, before, you see it was 5-2, and now we're about equal in winners. Well, that's a little drop shot there. 30 all. If the computer just alternates between moonballs and drop shots, I would literally lose every single point when I'm not at the net. That's the other thing I definitely noticed. Absolutely in semi-pro during that exhibition. I don't know what was going on with that because it really felt more like I was on pro than semi-pro. And the computer was it just got to literally everything, and it wasn't, for a couple of the matches, it wasn't possible for me to hit a winner from the baseline. It would just get to everything until either I made an error or it hit a winner. And the one opponent almost never hit winners, but I could never do that, right? So either I would hit an unforced error, or where it would hit a winner. And since it didn't generally hit winners, it was just almost every single rally ended up with me hitting an unforced error or hitting a very rare winner. So that's a half volley there. But I expect her to go cross court, and she hit it right to me. Try a body serve. The Tony Trabert favorite. He used to say, I remember saying, why, I don't know why more players don't try that serve into the body. It's very hard to control when you're the returner. By the way, I do apologize if my voice is a little scratchy. I've got a bit of a cold. That was a slice serve up the tee that didn't quite go in there. All right, well, we're in, so let's move in. Got it. 30-15. Let's take a look. Whoops. Come on. Let's take a look. I've had 14 winners, 6 of them at the net. So I'm having some success on the baseline. (40-15). Try another body serve. This one's a topspin. You can see, you know, sometimes I get it into the green and then it just flicks right over into red as soon as you get it to bright green. And again, you know, I guess they do it that way to make it hard, to make it a challenge. But when you think about the way tennis strokes work, hitting the ball 5 degrees of angle early and 5 degrees of angle late, there's no particular benefit to doing it one way versus the other. Too early and too late are equally bad. So it's 3-2. On serve. So we broke serve last time. Now it's 3-2 on serve. And you can see, remember what happened. She crushed me in the first 2 games. Went up 2-love. And now it's 3-2. Wow. She does have a good forehand, right? I think it's better than ours. Her backhand is about equal to ours. I don't think there's any particular reason to pick on it, given that I've picked on strokes that are... oh, that was weird. It wouldn't let me move the dot. I've picked on strokes that are way worse than hers and not been able to do anything with it. 15 all. Thought that was going cross court. Let's move in. Got her. So the advantage, as I've said before, of being at the net is she has way less time to react. She's okay there, but here, there's just no time to get back into position, even though she wasn't that far over to the forehand side of the court, because the ball just goes over the net and is immediately back on your side. 15-30. I'm not slicing enough. That is one of my problems. For some reason, when I'm talking to you folks, I tend to default to topspin a lot and flat, but not slice. I do some backhand slices. I almost never do forehand slices. And I don't know why, because when I'm not talking to you folks and I'm just playing by myself silently, I do slices all the time. I love the slice. It works really well. You can see we're now climbing in terms of the winners. We've hit 17 winners since we had 2 and she had 5. She's only hit 7 or 8. So we're hitting like twice as many winners as she is. So let's do a forehand slice for once. Kind of surprised her with it. Let's head to the net and try to smash it. There we go. Game Montanelli, and now we're up a break 4-2. So folks, I think I explained this, but in case I haven't, the reason I'm showing only the semifinal and the final is because all the other matches are on semi-pro, and I've been assuming they're not going to be super exciting to watch because I pretty much do cream the opponent except for the first couple of games of each match. And I don't think it's probably super interesting to watch when it's that one-sided. I mean, you guys can tell me, but I figure this is more interesting because it's semi-pro and pro, and then of course the final is pro. You can watch me lose if I don't do well, and see how that works. And so you get a sense of the career. Also, in this year, we're going to be probably playing more tournaments and not doing as much exclusive training. And so last year, I think the first season was 16 episodes, and that's a love game for us. And now she's serving to stay in the set. You can see how quickly it swung from 2-love to 5-2, from love 2 to 5-2. That was 16 episodes, and it was only about 4 or 5 tournaments. And even then, I didn't show them all. We're probably going to be playing more like 8 or 9 tournaments this year, if not more. And if that's the case, then it would just be, the season will be so long, it'd be like 30 or 40 episodes. It's probably too much. So I did set this to pro, right? I'm busy talking, not paying attention to what I'm doing. Okay, so that's another ace. She's had 3 aces so far. And again, these aren't serves that I'm doing anything different with on the return. Yeah, I knew she was coming over here. Got it. No. Lob. Yeah, I should have lobbed the first one. And the second one, I didn't lob till the third one, and it wasn't a great lob. But it was enough. She hit it out, and it's 15 all. Also, an update. I have been playing the game Starfield. It's a fun game. I don't feel like it's one that I would do a very good job of doing a Let's Play on. Additionally, it's extremely hard on my video card and my CPU. And I don't want anything else that's possibly going to make them work hard running, like OBS, which is what I use to record, just because I'm trying to keep it from overheating my CPU. It's pretty hard on the CPU. So now one of the things that's happening here is she's hitting it in such a way that's making me hit late. And so since I'm not hitting shots in the green, she's able to get to them because they're inferior shots. And there's the error. So she was just hitting it so hard and so deep that I was hitting late over and over and over again. And that was just her completely controlling the point. And so if you watch it and you see me hitting it back and you hear me saying, man, I was not in control of that point at all, and it looks like, well, you're hitting it. It's, am I hitting it in the green or am I hitting it in the red? I can't even get to it, right, because she's wrong-footing me and stuff. It's not even worth running to. That's game Mora. So she holds serve. And now it's 5-3. That's the first game she looked like it was playing on pro since the first 2 games, right? Now, obviously, it wasn't playing on semi-pro when I'm serving, but I was able to break it that one time, and it didn't look like it was playing it on pro almost. Oh, lucky that one went in. 30 love. Yeah, see, it went to red again. Let's give her a slice. There's a top spin. Another slice. Oh. Lucky I got to that, and she's gonna, yeah. 30-15. So why do I stop her? Why waste the run? Why waste whatever endurance it costs you to run like that? Yeah, I thought she was gonna head over, but I tried not to commit too early. And now it's set point, and you know what we do when we're on a set point? We're gonna come to the net. And that went out, and that is the first set to Moncinelli, 6-3. Back to pro for Mora. So now let's look at the stats. 27 winners to us, to 14 for her. We both only had 2 unforced errors. I've won 15 of 19 at the net. I guess it's really 15 of 21, but she hasn't been, except for the first couple games, she hasn't been killing me at the net the way she was in those first 2 games. Again, go back and watch the first 2 games and look at how she played on semi-pro in that first game compared to how she's been playing even on pro since. She got me. I thought she was coming back to me. 15 love. Yeah, it's extremely difficult to beat the computer on pro in a baseline rally. Certainly with the stats that Anabella has now, even though her stats have gone up a little bit. Yep, see, she even got to that, where on semi-pro that probably would have been a winner. That's going to go out. Yep, because it's on pro. It's a tighter tolerance. Semi-pro, that probably would have painted the line. Right, and again, that is the computer forcing it, right? Because it gets to literally everything except the line paints, right? Like that. If you don't paint the line, the computer will get it back to you. And especially on the backhand side, it's frustrating because on the forehand side, it teleports and gets it back as a normal shot. But on the backhand side, it doesn't teleport, but it does this defensive lob moonball that is almost impossible to hit. So it's basically able to get in from this super defensive position where it has no play on the ball. It's able to hit essentially a winner. And it's almost worse than just hitting it into the middle of the court when you try to hit it that way. So she's at 40-15, and again, can't touch her on her serve. So we just have that one break. Let's try some more slice. Flat. See that defensive stab moonball is almost always a winner. It's very hard to handle. 40-30. So now she's probably going to go wide. Computer almost always switches to wide if it faults up the tee. No, it didn't this time. Or it'll switch to up the tee if it faults wide. All right, I'm going to run in. Yeah, cut that ball off. There's always a chance it's going to pass or lob over your head when you run in, but at least it puts you in the aggressive position instead of the defensive position. And you have a chance to cut the ball off and get a winner. She's got me so on the defensive in the base on the baseline, I can't win the point anyway. Let's go back there with a forehand. And now we're going to slice it up the line. I'm going to run in again. Again, being inside, let me cut it off a little early. There's that defensive shot. And because I was so close, it's like a half volley. So we did break serve. And it is now 1-love up a break. She got that one. Love 15. All. There's a slice. Do another slice. So generally the slices aren't meant to be winners. They're meant to change the speed up, make the other player have to like recalibrate a little bit. Maybe swing early on the ball because it gets there slower than they expected. And that is 40-15. There's another moon ball. Nope. 40-30. When she turns on the juice, it's unhittable. But that's the way the computer always is. Caught her. Caught her looking up the forehand. That's game Montanelli. 2 games to love. Up a break. And now Amora needs to hold serve here. Because you don't want to go down 2 breaks and down a set. I mean, you know, you can come back. Connors has done it in the past, but and lots of other players have. But you know, after all, Steffi Graf did in 1988. I always cite that match. It's one of my favorite matches that I've ever seen. She lost the first set to Martina Navratilova 7-5 after being up, I think it was 5-2 or 5-3. Navratilova came back, won the first set, and then won the first 2 games of the second set. So she was up a set and a break against Graf. I got you, honey. She was up a set and a break against Graf, and then Graf came back and won the match. So it's certainly possible to be down that far and come back. Lots of players have done that, but it's not ideal, right? It's not ideal to be going down a set and 2 breaks. So she definitely, if she's a human player, definitely does not want to do that. Well, I was trying to take the aggressive position there, but and that's going to go out. Oh, I thought it was going to go out. Too close to the line there. Oh. Man, the computer just gets to everything. Yeah, that looked out. No, it just painted the line. It is in, and that is a winner. Love 30, and she is exhausted now, so she should be making mistakes. Right, the serve shouldn't come in as fast. She shouldn't be able to hit those power shots. But look at that. So even though she has no endurance left, and it takes endurance to hit the power shots, she hit 2 power shots, one right after another. Why does the computer even bother to pay attention to endurance? Look at this, twice. Completely exhausted, and she hits 3 unbelievable Steffi Graf ground strokes. 4. All right, I'm heading to the net. There we go. Break point. So that's the computer, those 2 shots where she had no endurance left and she was still hitting those uber winners. That's the computer being what that one Steam commenter mentioned as being clutch, right? The computer is too clutchy. With the clutchness, he said, of the CPU. He said it goofs around until it's clutch time, and then it's on, like, all of a sudden it just raises its game. Which again can happen in tennis, but it doesn't happen all the time. Mancinelli's now up 2 breaks. So this is looking very good. Again, you don't want to count your chickens before they're hatched, but it's looking good. And we just want to keep the pressure on now, right? This is where you don't relax. You don't say, okay, well, I'll just sort of expect to hold my serve. Nope, we don't do that. She's already broken our serve once on semi-pro like this. So we don't want to give her a chance to break again. Look at that. 15 all. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I was moving the stick and the computer did not let me move my player. I don't know why. Got her there. 30-15. So you'll see with Mancinelli, she's got 40 winners. Most of those are going to probably be at the net, right? Well, only 20 at the net. So I've actually done better at the baseline than usual. A lot of times with her, what I do is, like, she serves and volleys, so she wins she'll end those points at the net. But she also ends a lot of rallies at the net because I try to have her run in. No, we lost that one. 30 all. So now the very typical classic thing is for the computer, even on semi-pro here, to break back. There we go. Right? And then the computer breaks back, and now it's on server. Well, actually, it's down still a break, but it's very, very common. You got the computer up 3 love or 4. You're up 3 or 4 love, and then all of a sudden the computer will break back to make it 3-1, then hold serve. There it is. Oh no, it's advantage. Well, the joystick actually slipped a little on me. But deuce. Wow, look at that. She just stepped into it and hit a, like, laser beam. Yeah. I cannot touch those shots. Cannot touch them. Again, remember this is semi-pro, right? So what she's doing there with these, just hitting it so hard and perfect on the line, over and over and over again in the same point, that's a semi-pro difficulty, right? It's not pro. Shouldn't be able to get to that, yeah. Deuce. We're heading in. We got her there. Advantage Mancinelli. Now we're going to try to win this one at the net. Got it. So that was a struggle, but we held serve. 4 games to love in the second set. And now Mora absolutely has to hold serve here, or she's in huge trouble because she's already down 2 breaks. If she doesn't hold serve, I'll be serving for the match in the next game. So that one that's the game where it usually breaks, right? It breaks back, then holds, and now it's like 3-2, right? And then it lets you win the match. That's kind of the way it seems to me, right? You know, it's so frequent that this pattern happens, right? That I go down, you 2-love or 3-1 in the first set, can't touch it in the first few games. Then I reel off a bunch of straight games and win the first set. Then in the second set, and then in the second set, I go up a break or two. I'm up 3-love, 4-love. Then all of a sudden the computer comes back, wins a couple games, and then it just dies and I win the match, right? And it happens so often, it can't be a coincidence, right? It has to be something about the way they have it programmed. All right, we're definitely going to go in now. We're close. No, she got me. 30-15. This is a must-win for Mora. 23 winners. How many of them have been passing shots? Quite a few. Probably about 8. Wow, no, that was bad. 40-15. Right, and it's so funny. You watch the one service game, and you're like, how did I ever break serve? Because she's been in complete control of this entire game. Every shot of every point. And there's an ace. So, like, how did I ever break serve? I don't know. But it seems, like, unbeatable in that game. Right? So I don't know if you guys can see what it does on the serve and why I dislike the way the serve works in especially pro and semi-pro. It wasn't this way in amateur. But what happens is when I start the service motion, I can't see the dot until after I start to move it. And so the reason it goes wide is because it doesn't show me the dot as soon as I start the service motion. And then it makes the dot disappear. And it's very frustrating to me. And awkward. And I don't know why, because the dot appears the entire time on all other strokes except the serve. 30 all. Oh, no, 40-15, sorry. So it leads to a lot of mistakes that wouldn't happen if they just would show me the dot the entire time from the time I press the button until the time I let it go. And that is a slice winner up the line to go up 5-1. And now Mora is serving to stay in this match. Well, yeah, she can just unleash. And I don't think her power is that much higher than mine. Wasn't it only like 58 or something? If that. Double fault, 15 all. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this match. It's obviously not over yet, and we have at least a game or two to play. Might have a lot to play if it breaks serve or something. I hope you guys have enjoyed the match. Please feel free to leave comments about the gameplay or whatever. There's another ace. 84 miles an hour. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't feel like I'm doing anything different with the button presses when it aces me versus when it doesn't. Lucky that didn't go out because it was red. 30 all. Now she better watch out, because if she loses a couple more points, The match is over, so she's got to win these points now. Okay. That one out. Wow, the rare defensive stab that doesn't go perfectly in on the line, and it is now match point against her, 30-40. And second serve. Not that that matters. I think she's aced at least 2 of her second serves. And they've only been 84 miles an hour. Man. You're out of position, honey. She's back in position. Yeah, she got me. Deuce. Yep, with those power shot, power shot, power shot. The very modern tennis, right? You just hit it hard, deep, hard and deep, hard and deep. And eventually you just knock the other person off the court like that. Advantage. Mora. So she looks like she's going to hold serve here and will have to serve out the match. It's not a guarantee. We could take this point here and bring it back to deuce. Got her there. You didn't win the match yet, Anabella. What are you cheering for? It's just deuce. It was like premature. Did you think it was your ad? Yeah, what was the... I remember reading years ago in Tennis Magazine that there was this one player, he was playing a point and he thought he had it won, and he started celebrating, and the other player got to it and hit a winner. And the crowd was like laughing at him because he started celebrating and he hadn't actually won the point. And I think it was that it was match point and he thought he had it, and he started celebrating and the other player got it, deuced it, then held serve or whatever, and then broke back or whatever it was, and the other player ended up winning the match after the guy celebrated for winning the match. It was hilarious. So it's letting me deuce it here. But I think the computer is determined not to let me win this game. We'll see. If you notice, and it's not by my choice, I have not been into net in these rallies. And that's because she's been hitting it so hard and so deep that I cannot come in. But now it is match point number 2. What is the point of protesting this at this point? Oh, that was... My gosh, look at that. It was 1 pixel out. That was like, in real life, would be a fraction of a millimeter. Look at that. You see? Just killer shots. Right? It just hits a shot it knows you cannot get back. It does not want to let me break serve here. Like, not just the player doesn't want to, the computer doesn't want to allow it. Now, it doesn't appear to be cheating, right, per se. It's just hitting the ball really well and basically almost gone up to veteran level in this game. You know what I mean, kind of thing? That's what it seems like. That. Oh my gosh, you double faulted away the match? That's a little silly. Okay, well, so Anabella wins the match on a double fault, which is a little bizarre. She didn't have that many double faults, Mora. But I guess the computer decided to go for it. 5 aces and 3 double faults. 29 winners to 53 for us. We had 8 unforced errors, which is not too bad. Let's take a look at the stats. Serve direction. I feel like I mixed it up. Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. Not perfect, but somewhat well. And we hit a lot more forehand than backhand winners, which is pretty typical. but it's mostly because I'm hitting a forehand off into the backhand of the opponent, and that's the one that it's weakest at, I guess. So it was a 6-1, 66-1 victory, and we are into the finals, guys. We are into the finals of our first Challenger Series. We gained 400 match XP and 1,000 performance XP. We're about 3/4 of the way to level 28. And our next match will be against McClarity, who defeated the last seeded player. So there are only 8 seeds in a Challenger Series tournament, and Anabella was one of the seeds, and she is the only seed to get through. The other seeds were all knocked out, and so she's playing the unseeded McClarity in the final of the Quimper Open. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been AO Tennis 2 Career Mode Season 2 with Anabella Moncinelli, fictional Italian player.